Welcome to Wonderspace. It's great to have you on board. My name is Steve Cole, and over the past 56 episodes, I have been asking the same 6 questions to amazing people from around the world. The questions orbit around wonder and stories of hopefulness, and the setting for each journey is this shared window on the space station, from where we see everything from a different perspective. Before we introduce our guest, our friends at asknature.org are going to help us to re-wonder.
Some deep water bacteria have developed a way of taking the guesswork out of navigation. They combine iron with oxygen or sulfur to produce magnetic crystals, which they use to form compass needles embedded in their single-celled bodies. Each bacterium will make 10 to 20 packets of crystals, wrapping each one in a fatty membrane. Electromagnetic attraction arranges the packets in a line along the direction of the Earth's magnetic field. The bacteria align their bodies with their compasses and simply move forward or backward in their ongoing search for the low oxygen zones where they thrive.
Our orbit this week will take us to the Indian Ocean, over the snow-capped Himalaya mountains and countries such as Pakistan and India. To experience these views with us in this ultimate window seat, we welcome Sara Osterholzer, who is an impact entrepreneur and the co-founder of the Good Business Club, which in 3 years has grown to a network of over 90 businesses. Sara was nominated by our 28th guest on Wonderspace, John Pritchard from Pala Eyewear. Here is John on why he nominated Sara.
I've nominated Sara because she is a woman doing incredible things down here for the Brighton community. She is simply a good human who supports and champions business for good, businesses that are putting people and planet before profit. She's incredibly hardworking, very positive, well-connected, and simply think her story should be shared on here.
The full-length interview with Sara can be found on the Wonderspace podcast, which you will find on our website and on most podcast platforms. For this shortened video orbit, Sara answers 3 of our 6 questions and starts by giving us a glimpse into her life story so far.
I was born in Berlin. My mum's English, my dad's German, and although I was born in Germany, I spent my early childhood in India, on the foothills of the Himalayas. So I was there from age of 7 till 12, living a very adventurous life. So that was very much, I think, formed a lot of also the view of the world as well, and kind of philosophies on what was important in the world. And when I came back from India, we lived in South London, and I went to university at the University of Sussex in Brighton, just on the coast, of the English coast. And at university is actually when I was, I guess, like many people, trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, that I came across a term which is social enterprise that really spoke to me. So I was studying business, which I found was very interesting, and I chose it as a degree because I just thought, anything I do, I'll be working in a business, so that's very practical. But I think, like many other systems in our modern world, I think they're quite outdated for where we're heading in the future. And it was that moment when I came across this term around social enterprise, that using business as a tool to change the world for the better, that really just synergized a lot of things that were really important to me and an opportunity I saw there. So I also just had a sense that I wasn't going to get a lot of satisfaction working in larger corporates. So when I graduated, I just went out and found opportunities to work with entrepreneurs who were trying to change the world. So the first 4 years of my career was employee number 1 for a couple of different startups who, were trying to do things differently, really inspiring entrepreneurs. And I guess I got to really see the reality of starting up businesses, not just the theory that I'd learnt as well. And it was, after those 4 years, I got invited to work for an organisation in Brighton again, which I'd really loved that city, who were looking at supporting good businesses. And I designed and delivered an accelerator programme, again, then starting to help individuals on that journey at the very beginning. And unfortunately, that business went to administration, and we were only told 24 hours before we had to stop trading, which led me to set up my own business. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I've set up the Good Business Club about a month after being made redundant, and we're now just reached the 3-year mark. And what we do is make it possible for first-time entrepreneurs who want to change the world to set up sustainable businesses without having to have decades of experience or be a master of everything in their business, by tapping into the expertise and experience of others who have blazed the trail before them and have a lot of generosity and insights that they want to contribute to other people as well. So that's my contribution to trying to change the old system of business and really use it as a powerful tool in the world. Like I said, we're 3 years now. We've survived a pandemic. We're about 90 business strong, of very generous, inspiring, and supportive businesses who, are really up to changing the world. This is definitely a hard one. And I guess a lot of people you may speak to say the same when you work with such inspiring people. But for me, I really would like to share about a person who I'm very grateful and honoured to call actually my co-founder of the Good Business Club. Her name is Ruth Anslow. And she, before we set up the club, had set up an ethical supermarket with her sister. She, like I think quite a lot of people who are trying to change the world, had worked in the corporate world, done, obviously very well for herself, and shares the same story of being on a balcony in Barcelona in this flat that she had, looking out and just thinking, I've got to where I wanted to, I should be feeling happy about this right now. And I think that moment for her was one that really shifted her perspective of what she wanted to do and how she wanted to contribute into the world. So her and her sister, who happened to be having similar kind of moments in their life, decided to really tackle, again, we talk about systems that are broken, right? There's a supermarket's called HISBE, which stands for How It Should Be. And they really wanted to go about and go, look, can we create a supermarket that pays the supplier really well, or more than what most supermarkets do, that pays the employees the living wage at minimum, that stocks only organic, ethical products that are not having a negative impact on the world. Is it possible? Let's see what we can do about it. And 10 years down the line, they've now set up their second store, and it doesn't come without challenge. And I think that's for me also where the hopefulness comes in. She is a very authentic individual, and I think for myself, she really showed me that you don't have to be perfect to go out into the world and stand for something and see what you can do about it, right? She wasn't a supermarket expert before she set this up. She was just an individual who was passionate about something. And I think also for myself, and she knows this as well, I've grown a lot through setting up the club, and having her by my side has made all the difference. I think I probably would have been way too scared to do it on my own, but having someone who saw something in me that maybe I didn't and could be that champion, it gave me hope. And I think knowing that there's individuals like that in the world being that for other people, being that for everybody in a sense as well, right? Being that catalyst for change and facing everything that we have to every day, but still being there for other people, I think is really hopeful, right? I think we need more of that. And I think that a lot of people exist like that. We just maybe don't always hear about them. So yeah, Roofs definitely brings hope into my life. So I've been delving, I think, quite intentionally over the last couple of years around Stoic philosophies, which has, I would say, radically kind of changed my perspective of life and brought an enjoyment into it that I think has been quite profound, really. And there are a few I guess, wisdoms, reminders, habits that I try and ingrain into my life, and I thought I'd share two of them. So one of them is around enjoying the journey. And I think there's that thing of like life actually isn't about getting to destinations. And I mean, yes, goals are amazing to keep you focused and to help you, create amazing things. But that's actually not where the happiness is found. And if you can really take that on and realize that actually the enjoyment of getting from here to there is where you're going to find that happiness. I think that's massively shifted day to day, how I can actually enjoy life. The second one, maybe on an even deeper level, is that we are not our thoughts. And I think for me, that has had a massive impact. I've talked a bit again earlier about having a part of my life that was really impacted by anxiety, and I think I just associated myself so much with what I was thinking of. That's who I was, and I think as a society, we've that's what we do. We've identified ourselves with that way of being, which can be quite constraining. And I remind myself of this every day, and it has really led to some personal breakthroughs for me as well. I think it's a very powerful thing to contemplate about if you haven't already. So those are my two little bits of wisdom for the day.
To find out more about Sara and the Good Business Club, go to saraosterholzer.com and thegoodbusinessclub.com. To engage with the previous 56 Wonderspace episodes, go to our website, ourwonder.space. I want to thank Sara for joining us on Wonderspace, and I hope you can join us next week for more wonders and stories of hopefulness.